Happy Wednesday! It's not Wednesday morning. Coming at you a little bit late today. I had just got home from my retreat today. Just finished eating dinner. And saying hi to the babies and giving them all their gifts from Mexico. Because of course you gotta bring the kids home gifts. Um, so yes, it's a little bit late today. Well, a lot of bit late, I would say. But I wanted to pop on because I had sent out an email talking a little bit about where do we discount ourselves before we ever do something? Where do we enact self doubt? Where do we say that we can't do something before we do it? So over the retreat, of course, we have a lot of different activities that we're doing. We did like cacao ceremonies and, of course, breath work and some hypnotherapy and some vision planning. And one of the things that we did was surfing lessons. So going into this, I did not want to try to surf. Like I had tried skateboarding when I was a teenager and I was awful at even trying to stand on top of the board. Like I was sitting in a hallway with both hands against both like against the walls and not even able to stand on the board without like wobbling and falling over. So my thought was I'm accident prone. I have no balance. I'm not going to be able to surf. Well, uh, thankfully, I had, these amazing women that were all around me at the retreat that were, um, really giving me some words of encouragement because one girl she didn't even know how to swim and she was going to try to surf. So I was like, well, surely uh, if she can try it, if she can have faith that this is something that she can do, then surely I can do this too. So it's funny because the mind it plays these tricks on you. Like I was essentially discounting myself before even trying, um, by putting the label on that I have bad balance, that I would not be good at standing up on a board on top of waves that are all going crazy and in different directions. So I was already putting it in my head that I'm going to hurt myself or like this is going to be an awful experience. But you know what? I I part of my intentions for the retreat was to really be present in the moment, to really be connecting with these other people, to really making sure I was there and living in the moment and having fun. So I said, let's go ahead and do it. Let's try this. Um, and what's the worst that can happen? Like, uh, it's a new experience. It's a new memory. Like even if it was the most awful experience or like I hurt myself or get whapped in the head with the board, like it's still something that I could say I did. So I relate this to a lot of things in life. Like, where do you discount yourself? Where do you tell yourself that you're not going to be good at something before you even try? And where we are when we're starting out, like nobody is just like there's some people that are naturally good at things, but there's nobody that's going to be a freaking master when they first do something for the very first time. Like even just me getting on camera, like the first time I got on camera, the first time I talked or I even did a live, like I was not comfortable. I was, like, hey, Mike, I knew you would be on at this time at night. But I wasn't, I what didn't like automatically come on and be on camera and just like, I went for it, but I wasn't like this masterful person like talking and being live. So, all of these things, like it takes a step. Like it takes one small step to just do something, to get that momentum starting to go in a forward motion. Like honestly, if I look back to where I started and where I'm at now, like it's like night and day, but I didn't start out being like awesome. And like looking at where I was before, it was a struggle for me. Um so where is it that you're telling yourself that you're gonna suck at something and putting it out there in your mind like that it's just gonna be an awful experience? You're basically telling your subconscious mind to be afraid of something and putting it out in the universe that is not gonna work before you even do anything. So I equate it to like, maybe you're gonna start something new and you're already looking at how much you're gonna hate it or how hard it's gonna be, and then you're further perpetuating that things are just gonna continue to be hard, that it's gonna be a struggle, you're gonna be continue to spin your wheels. And the more you think about things like that, the more that you say, like your words, they're, you know, they cast spells. Like it's a thing. Like that's why they call it like spell casting or spelling. Like words are reverberating out into the universe vibrationally. They have a certain frequency to them. So if you're saying words that are positive and encouraging and like you're grateful and happy and all of these things, like really positive words, they're going to vibrate at a higher level on that vibrational chart. But if you're saying like this is going to suck, I'm not good at this, I'm stupid, blah blah blah, like it's a very low vibration. It's going to bring your whole system down to a lower, yeah, self-sabotage. Like it brings your whole system down to a lower vibration so that you're going to further attract things that are a lower vibration, that the universe is going to continue to vibrate, or you're going to continue to vibrate at that level, and so the universe is going to provide those things that are at that same vibration. So where is it, like, maybe you held yourself back in a career. Like you didn't think that you were going to get your dream job, or you didn't think that you were going to get a certain promotion. So you essentially like talk yourself out of it. And then you decide to go to the interview and you have so many negative thoughts around not getting the job that you essentially flop the whole thing. Or maybe it's like relationships. Maybe you have um, this belief that every relationship that you get in is going to end in heartache. So then you don't try. Or you always are fearing the worst. So then you sabotage the relationship. Or um, even just feeling joy. Even just giving yourself that self care. Like you deny yourself because you feel like you don't deserve it or something. So all of these negative self-talks, these past experiences, these limiting beliefs, they end up building up, and essentially you hold yourself back. You start to put yourself in a box. You cage yourself, and you don't go for things because you feel like you're not deserving, or you feel like you don't, you know, you're not going to get what you actually want. And so again, these are things that are tied to certain emotions, certain things that have happened in your past, that you made a certain decision about yourself at one point, that you weren't deserving of something, or that you couldn't achieve something. So until you actually go and clean up these certain things, these certain emotions, these limiting beliefs, or whatever, these negative energies, they continue to dictate the way that you view things, the way that you filter your perceptions of the outside world. It continues to rule your actions and behaviors and feelings and thoughts. So it's like this, it's a cycle. It's like being stuck inside of this hamster wheel where you're just continually just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and going in the same direction. So it's really important to put awareness on things, like put awareness on where we're not going for something because we're already telling ourselves that we're not going to achieve it, that we can't have it, that we can't get it. So putting that awareness on that, I do encourage people, like my clients, when we're working together, is that they keep what's called a judgment journal. So they're, if a thought comes up, because judgments can be, positive and negative. Like we have positive judgments as well. Putting those, writing them down as they come up, and trying to really get down to like, what is this, where is this coming from, like where did I get this judgment from? Because our judgments, like, we didn't come out of the womb judging people. Like, we were, like, when we come onto this earth, when we were brought into this world, we are in the vibration of oneness. We are in the vibration of like, everything is beautiful and amazing. Like when a baby starts to get their vision, because they start out in that black and white blob kind of vision at the beginning, and then when colors start to come in and sharpness starts to come in, and then they start recognizing faces and shapes. So this to them is amazing, and so they're really appreciating all the things around them, but they're not judging. They don't get judgment. You don't get judgment coming out of the womb. This is something that's learned. This is something that comes from your environment. So to really write down and bring that awareness to, where am I having this judgment coming from? Where did who told me a story? Like, what did my parents say to me when I was young that causes me to have a judgment about a certain thing? If you're having trouble keeping money around, it could be because when you were a kid, you were told that money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard for the money, or, uh, people that have money are evil, or money is the root of all evil. That's one of the things I was told. So you form these judgments, these filters over these things that you took in from your environment. So then it can end up being a story. It can end up being a reason that you behave the way that you are. So in the beginning, like for my business, I wasn't asking for what I was worth. I didn't even like charging people. Like, who's been there where they didn't want to charge somebody for their services when they knew that it was worth something. So to have that belief behind, like, maybe that money is the root of all evil, well, you're further predisposing in your head that you don't want money, because if you have money, it's evil. So you essentially sabotage yourself. Your subconscious mind is like, "Hey, we don't want to be evil. Evil's bad, right? Like you don't want to be an evil person. So give away all your money or go into debt or don't charge your your worth." Like really, like it's such a simple thing that you get to clean up like inside of your head. You get to rewire those synapses to, instead of thinking that money is evil and actually cleaning it up, to where you start to believe that money is abundant. And then what happens? If money is abundant, then it starts to come in. So like it's all just in the back of your mind. It's all things that are super simple to once you get down to like what where that came from, what that root cause was, what that emotion was behind it, then you get to clean it up so that you can start bringing in the things that you want. So you stop discounting yourself. You start to build up this confidence and your comfort zone expands, and then you get to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Like it changes your identity. You're shedding this person, this persona that you've brought yourself up into, um, up until now, right? So it's something to really reflect on. Like it's really great to notice like where I'm already talking myself out of something before I even try it, and then getting down to those roots, getting down to those initial emotions, getting down to that initial time or person or whatever story was told to me when I was a child, and cleaning that up. So just something to notice, and a thought that I had when and of course I did surf. I did surf, and it wasn't awful. I actually loved it, you know? So, moral of the story, don't talk yourself out of things. Or at least notice. Notice when you're doing it, because I still did it, but notice and clean it up. All right, guys. So, I'm going to go get some rest, snuggle my babies because I've been away from them for almost 2 whole weeks. So, I appreciate you all for joining me live. Leave a comment if anything, like you were able to reflect on anything or anything popped up for you, any realizations. Let's see. Famous lines of self sabotage. I can't. That's not me, and I don't know how. Yes, I can't is a very, very, very big one. Like we're always telling ourselves that we can't do something, but you want to kind of reflect on that, because I can't is presupposing that you don't have a choice. You have no choice. So, what if you actually reframed it in your head and said something like, I won't? Because you're making a decision, right? You're, nobody's holding you against your will. It's actually your thoughts. So, reframe it to, I won't do this, and see how that comes up for you, like how that reframing goes through for you. So that's a really effective thing that you can do for that, for I can't. But yeah, journaling is one of the best things to really bring your conscious mind on board with some of the subconscious stuff that's going on in the background too. Um, as you start to do this work and you start to uncover things, then you can really get down to like where these things are coming from, and get both subconscious and conscious mind in alignment with each other. And then once they're in alignment, then as you start to release things, they stay gone. You don't uh, like reprogram like yourself, or you reprogram yourself, but you don't like go back into your old patterns. Yeah, and it happens. Yeah, happens before every show. Yeah, so that's and you know it's not always awful. Like but it's something that's down, that's come from a past experience. So there's still going to be a nervousness there, or a negative self talk there because of past experiences. So once you clean those up, then you start to go into them with more confidence and more ease. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go snuggle the babies. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of the week. I know next week is Thanksgiving for the U.S. Anyways, I have quite a few people outside of the U.S. here, but for the U.S. it is Thanksgiving, so I will be popping on Wednesday. I may even do an extra little thing, extra little talk on Friday. So we'll see about that. I'll try to think of something really good, a good exercise that we can do, because a lot of people are going to be off on Friday, and I know they'll be out of town for or doing Turkey Day things on Thursday, but maybe on Friday we can get together and do a little special exercise. So if that interests you, give me a comment, give me a like, and I will come up with something that'll be fun to do. All right, guys, love you. Have an amazing week. Bye.